I want to address something because people are talking about Miss Mississippi in episode 8, right? I want to address this, okay?
Okay.
I do not have creative control over what is written in my job. 1. 2, there are comments about like threats that are being made to some actors on the show, which I think is it's a bit much. And it reminds me of this actress named Rebecca Schaefer. She's an actress in the 80s, and she was on a show called My Sister Sam. After the show, she played like a girl next door, like bright, bubbly spirit or whatever. After the show was canceled, she did like a 180 and did a movie, I think, that was completely different from her character. And it involved her very first sex scene. There was a fan in Arizona who didn't like that. He thought that she was a whore, and he decided to buy a gun, take a bus to LA. He found her address where she lived, and he shot her and killed her because he didn't agree, because he couldn't differentiate the actor from the character that she played. Okay. So when you make threats on someone, like when you threaten to harm someone, when you go on my page and you tell me that I should get beat harder, when you're talking to me as though I am my character.
Yeah.
I cannot differentiate a psychopath from somebody who's, I don't know, jealous that I'm of my success, from somebody who's just someone who, you know, is frustrated fan who wants to watch the show and wants to let their anger out and they're just in fun or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't tell the difference, but you don't know. You might be, in the comments that you make, you might be igniting a fire in somebody who actually wants to harm me or who wants to harm one of the characters on a show. That show ended in the 80s. She's still dead. She had an audition that day for Godfather 3. So she opened her door to this man. She was waiting on a script for an audition she had that day. She never made it to the audition because she was killed by a fan who didn't like that she did a sex scene in a movie. So people need to calm down. People need to relax, and they need to, like, you can't take this TV stuff too seriously. And you need to, people claim that they care about black women's bodies. Let's protect black women at all costs. When I see black people threatening me and saying that this black woman who's in a violent situation deserves to get beat harder because you don't understand, what you're doing is it's a slap in the face to people who are actually being beaten, who have actually been killed due to because they went back one more time for domestic violence. You don't know what you're doing, so you have to be careful with your words. You know, it's fun for you until somebody gets hurt, and then there is no other season of something, of one of your favorite shows. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just jokes, especially when it's mean spirited, and when it's a difference between you voicing your opinion as a fan and you being hateful and mean and coming off kind of jealous. You know? Yeah. So you need to, if you're unhappy with what's going on in your life, you can't take it out on other people who are doing things in your life, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, and people take it lightheartedly, but it happens more often than you think. I didn't know about her.
It does.
Say it again?
No, it does. You're right. It does happen more often than you think.
Yeah, like even Courtney Kemp was talking about Tariq the other day from Power, Michael Rainey Jr., because he, even as a child, you know, he started the show when he was however old, but as a child, people were threatening him on the street. And you think it's a joke. You think even the threat is a joke. But then you hear stories like that and you're like, okay, maybe this isn't a joke. Maybe I really need to protect my 14-year-old son who's just being an actor on the show. And now you know what I mean? So it's definitely a real situation, and people don't feel like.
Some people are delusional. Some people are really and I can't tell the difference. Like, I don't know you don't know as an actor if you're actually safe. If somebody's like, I hate you and I'm going to beat your ass, you don't know if somebody's asking you for a photo, if they're going to try to like hit you or something like that. And Michael Rainey, who plays Tariq, he's a child. He was a child when he was on Power. And Power is not a reality show. Power is, I've been on the Power set. I was on Power. It's fake. It's all built up. Ghost's apartment was built. It's not real. It's in a studio in New York. You know, it's
90 people behind the camera person shout.
Filming, exactly. P Valley, the Pink, is in a bunch of boxes right now. They broke down that set completely. The Pink is stored up in boxes. It's not in Mississippi. It's on a lot. And there's lights, and we're being mic'd, and some people don't even know what it took for me to even get to the space where I had to mentally to be even okay to film that scene. People don't know what you go through. It's like they don't care. And they say things that are just so insensitive and so rude, and they think things are so some people are so desensitized that they just want to say things just to be funny and just to get likes. And let me just be a bully, which now is called troll. It's, I guess, the prettier version. A bully is a bully. I'll call it what it is. But yeah, I'm mad at the character, so let me go bully all these actors on their page. It's social media, it's immature, and and I could take a joke like anybody else, but some of them have just gone a little too far.
And like you said, it's weird as an actor, right? Because your whole point is like, if you are the villain or the antagonist of the show and people hate you, that means you did your job. And our job is to tell stories. So you're like, in your mind, you're like, yes, I did my job. They hate me, but they're supposed to hate me. Or they love me, and they're supposed to love me. But like you said, then there's always one in those 3 or one in those 10 that are like a psycho, and they really
when you're calling somebody, when you're like, Shannon Thornton hates Black people, or you're a coon, or when you're saying things like that and you don't even know me, and you're talking to me, you're on my page that says Shannon Thornton, but you're saying, fuck you, bitch, you're this and you're that, and you need to get your ass beat, and this, you're like I said before, I don't know if you are absolutely crazy. Like, I don't know. And
it just doesn't. It doesn't sound like a joke, so I wouldn't take any of them as a joke.
It doesn't sound like a joke, right?